So I just got done working my shift, and now we're going to go through my revenue together. A revenue is just a summary of all of the transactions from the day. I'll be able to see all of my cash and charge transactions, as well as any voids, discounts, or gift cards I may have had. First, I'm going to go ahead and clock out. It's important to go through your revenue in detail because if something's wrong, it's your money that gets messed up. It can be a lengthy process, so that's why we ask that you go ahead and clock out so you can take your time. In order to clock out, you will need to claim your tips. Find the part on your revenue that says cash amount due. We will take the amount listed here out of our bank and then quickly count what is left, which is what we will claim as our tip total. We won't have to count it down to every penny. What's important here is that I'm quick with my counting while still being as close to accurate as possible. If, at the end of my revenue process, I find a mistake that affected my tips or that I misclaimed, my shift leader or operator can make that adjustment for me. Clocked out and I have my revenue in hand. Now I'm gonna go find a place to go do my revenue. Depending on your store, you may already have a designated area to do your revenue. If you don't, just make sure you're doing it in the back of the store and out of the way. You do not want to do it in the front of the store, such as at the bar or at the counter, because our guests can see you there. Customers will not always understand what you're doing. To them, it just looks like a server counting their money instead of waiting on tables. In our company, we pride ourselves in quality of service, and perception is everything. It's also just not a safe practice for handling cash. On a busy shift, you'll have a lot of money in your bank, and to have all of that out in the open opens yourself up to theft, especially at night. So just make sure you're out of sight when doing your money. If your store does not have a place like this, since you're already clocked out, just go ahead, put a jacket on, and go take a seat at the table. For the purpose of this video, that's what we'll do, just to make sure you can hear everything clearly. First, I'm going to pull out all of my tickets with my receipts attached. I will then go to the bottom of my revenue report and find the section called Check Details. This will include all of my transactions from the day. I'll then go through my stack of receipts and mark them off like so. Once I find them, I'll put the hard copy, I'll mark it off on my revenue and put the hard copy to the side. I'll have two piles, one for my cash receipts and one for my credit cards. We'll use our credit card one later on. As a server, this step is crucial because this affects your money. Here, this is where I'm making sure that all the transactions that are in my name are accurate. If I go through my list of transactions and have one on my revenue that I don't have a ticket or receipt for, it's possible someone else accidentally rang something out under my name, and in turn, they have the money for that ticket. If I had skipped this step, I may not have noticed this error and would have paid for that transaction out of my own pocket. Another option is that I could get through my list of transactions and have a ticket or receipt that isn't on my revenue report. This could mean that I may have accidentally rang something out in someone else's name. If either of these happen to you, get in touch with your operator or shift leader. They can help you sort it out.
As you can see, Shannon has done a great job of keeping her tickets and receipts together and organized in her book throughout her shift. By doing this, she has made her revenue process a lot easier. The messier or more disorganized your receipts are, the longer and more confusing this whole process can be. Do yourself a favor on your shift and make sure you are holding on to all your tickets and stapling all of your receipts to their corresponding ticket. Do not leave your receipts lying around the register or stuffed into your apron. This is guaranteed to slow you down during your revenue process and cause them to be lost or incorrect.
Now that I've confirmed all my transactions in my name are indeed mine, I'm going to go through my credit cards to make sure I charge everyone correctly. Earlier, I pulled out all of my charge transactions. I'm going to take these tickets and look at the top of my revenue report where it says credit card detail. Here, it shows the same charge transactions that I had, but it will now tell me the sale amount, tip, and total. I'm going to go through my stack of charge tickets and carefully pull off all of my credit card receipts. These are the smaller receipts that print from your credit card machine, not your POS terminal. So after separating my credit card receipts from my tickets, I can now put my two piles together. So once I have all of my credit card receipts gathered like so, I'm going to start comparing them to my revenue. Here it's important not to just mark them off, but to check to make sure every total is correct, including the tip and overall total.
As you're going through this part, if you have a credit card transaction on your revenue that you do not have a credit card receipt for, you will have to reprint one for it, so that whoever checks you out knows you charged correctly. This is another reason it's super important to keep track of all your receipts during your shifts. If you're going through this part and find that you accidentally entered in a tip wrong, or maybe forgot to enter it in at all, just let your shift leader or operator know. We will adjust it and print you a new revenue easily. Do not think that you will have to just leave without getting that tip. Mistakes happen. The most we ask is that you take your time and double check what the customer wrote when completing transactions so that you cut down on the frequency of mistakes.
I have now confirmed that I have all of my credit card receipts and my totals match. So now, all I have to do is put my credit card receipts in the order that they appear on my revenue. This is one way for you to set your shift leader up for success in helping them speed up their process when they come to check you out. Last thing we're going to do is the money. For this, we'll go to a section of the revenue that says cash amount due. Here, you can see where it says total cash. This is the total amount of cash transactions that you collected from customers during your shift. Under that, you see less credit card tip. This is the total amount of tips you received on your credit card transactions. The last part of this section says total cash due. This is the number you owe the store. This amount comes from subtracting the less credit card tip amount from the total cash amount. So instead of taking the full amount of your cash transactions, we give you your credit card tips from that and take the difference. This is how all of our servers leave with cash in hand for all their tips after every shift. Now that I've explained what all this is, we're going to go over what to do. The total cash due on my revenue is $183.07. We'll pull that amount out of my bank and put it with my revenue. The remaining money in my bank is mine. What I want to do is count everything up to ensure that when I clocked out earlier, that I claimed all of my tips correctly, keeping in mind not to include any amount that I had before coming in. We have now successfully completed our part of the revenue process. We have our stack of tickets, our revenue laid flat with everything marked off, our credit card receipts stacked nicely and in order, and our money. Now, all I have to do is get checked out. You never want to leave before getting checked out by your shift leader or operator for two reasons. If you make a mistake while counting your money or checking your tickets, you want to be here to fix it. Also, you never want to leave money sitting out waiting to be checked. Just let them know when you're ready and wait for them to come to you. I hope this video helps clarify how to complete a revenue. If you have any other questions or concerns, get with your shift leader, your certified trainer, or your operator.